We all know that AI is going to revolutionize the entire world. I see a space where there will be one AI for every single individual in the world. Imagine a real estate developer who doesn't use the internet right now. How far do you think they're going to get?
Not beyond the neighborhood.
Not very far, right?
Okay, so what you're saying is everyone should leverage artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. So I don't want to start by scaring real estate developers to where it sounds like you have to go and learn programming, right, to be able to use artificial intelligence. You can look at what's out there for real estate developers in particular, and then take those tools and learn them. Have you ever done business, like closed a deal while you were sleeping?
No.
I believe that AI has the potential to be much bigger than the internet. So you do see that it is absolutely necessary.
Welcome, family, to another insightful episode of the Real Deal Naija Podcast, where we unbundle Africa's largest real estate market. Today with me, I have an amazing person who inspires me greatly in the artificial intelligence space. He is an AI and automation strategist and sales and growth executive. He's also the founder of Intelligency, an AI automation agency which specializes in demystifying artificial intelligence and building tailored solutions that solve real-world problems. This person is a business development manager at GetMed, an international healthcare concierge service operating from Nigeria and the United Kingdom. He has a 10-year career spanning across banking, food, healthcare, and education sector. He is uniquely positioned to deliver actionable insights that cross across a wide spectrum. The portfolio is rich, then you're certainly sure that this conversation is going to be rich. Please welcome with me, Mr. Bibilade Oyeleke. Hey.
Thank you very much.
How are you, sir?
I'm very, very well.
It's very, very nice to share this space with you.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. All right, let's jump straight into the conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about how AI, artificial intelligence, can revolutionize the real estate industry. So, first, sir, tell us in broad terms, how do you think AI can impact the real estate industry?
Okay, again, thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
In terms of how AI can impact the real estate industry, right? I would say that it can do so many things across so many facets of the industry, right? I mean, on one hand, you have realtors, right? On another hand, you have the real estate agents, right? So what exactly can AI do? I would say that AI is going to usher in a new phase, right, of, shall I say, technology and ability for real estate agents, right? And so they're going to be able to achieve and do things that they couldn't do before with the level of technology that was available. We all know that AI is going to revolutionize the entire world, right? And so definitely real estate is not going to be left behind.
All right, so tell me, do you see a future where 3D walkthroughs and virtual imagery would replace apartment viewings?
Yes, I do see a world where it does that. But I actually do see a world where it does so much more than that, right? And here's what I mean. I mean, obviously from your question, you're looking at a situation where, for instance, you can be at a remote space, maybe talking to a client, and you're able to show them an empty apartment, maybe furnished with 3D imagery and things like that.
Exactly.
So yes, most definitely that technology is more or less in place today. But of course, with AI, you can take it so much further. But not just that. I also see a world where you can have AI look at a plot of land. Right? Yes. And then you can have your client tell you what exactly he wants. So what type of foundation, what type of roofing, whatever it is from anywhere in the world, right? And so AI can actually build on that plot, right? AI can, look at the entire area, determine, for instance, what type of soil, right? And then advise and say, okay, for this type of soil, you want to have this type of foundation. You want to have a filling, like say maybe a sand fill of this amount of inches and things like that. So it does so much more than just doing 3D walkthroughs for apartments. And then I'll take it one step further, right?
Okay.
So imagine that you then have this plot of land, an empty plot of land, right? For the developer themselves. So this is not even client facing anymore. For the developer, you can build every single layer of that apartment digitally, right? So you can look at the point where maybe you're done with the foundation, you can then ask the AI, how much materials would we have used at this point?
Interesting.
Right? So it can tell you, okay, so many bags of cement, so many heaps of sand and things like that. Maybe you're at lintel level, you can ask the AI, how many nails will we have used at this point? How much is it going to cost, right? So it's actually very granular what AI can do in real estate.
Yeah. Amazing. So while you're saying all of this, I'm sure in some viewers' mind, they are probably like, so what's now left for us, right? So would you say that artificial intelligence is going to take the jobs of people, realtors, developers, and all that?
Okay, so I think that's a very important question because for everybody, since they've heard of AI, that's been the largest fear of every single person. Is AI going to take my job? And I can tell you that, yes, AI is coming for developers' jobs. And that's just a fact. And I say that because AI is coming for all our jobs, right?
That's scary.
However, I think it's important to make a distinction, right? I think that AI is coming for the jobs of real estate developers, people in the real estate sector generally, so agents, developers, and the likes. It's coming for the jobs of people who are not ready to utilize AI, right? So if you are ready to utilize AI as a tool, which it is, right, just like the internet, then I think that you're going to be able to adapt with the coming industry. I see a space where there will be one AI for every single individual in the world, not just general AI to where you just go to a website. You're going to be able to build almost like a robot for yourself, right?
Amazing.
So you, as a real estate developer, you want to be able to, just like the internet, add it as part of your tools. Imagine a real estate developer who doesn't use the internet right now. How far do you think they're going to get?
Not beyond the neighborhood. Not
very far, right? It's the same thing with AI, right? So you want to be able to use that tool to sort of broaden your interest and client base and things like that.
Okay, so what you're saying is everyone should leverage artificial intelligence.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not just a nice to have. It's absolutely necessary.
Nice. So since you've encouraged us to leverage AI and it's a must-have, not a nice-to-have, right? What skills do you think real estate professionals need to develop to remain relevant in the AI era?
So I don't want to start by scaring real estate developers to where it sounds like you have to go and learn programming, right, to be able to use artificial intelligence. I think that just the same way learning the internet was organic for every single person, I think that learning to use artificial intelligence is also going to be organic for real estate developers. But then again, it's good to also add like a word of advice, right? So simply put, you can look at what's out there for real estate developers in particular, and then take those tools and learn them. For instance, currently there are no particular tools that are super dedicated to real estate professionals, but you find that real estate professionals currently use ChatGPT, right, to find out things like general pricing, historic pricing, future trends for pricing, and things like that. So just as time evolves, just make sure that you're compliant and you're on top of the current technologies as they evolve.
Amazing. All right, so let's move the gears of this conversation. So can artificial intelligence be used to fraud-proof transactions, or could it make them more susceptible to fraud?
I think that it goes both ways. Right. Because when you talk about fraud, right, you're talking about an industry, a relentless industry, right? And with every single, shall I say, solution to stop it, you find that they will tend to find another way to, sort of get past those blocks and to do what they do. So I think that yes, AI is going to be a fantastic way to definitely fraud proof the industry, but it's also going to be a fantastic way to sort of enact fraud. And for instance, here's what I mean. If you look at what we currently have with the deep fakes, where you can carry anybody's face with AI and have anybody's voice, right, with AI. It's pretty easy to be able to call someone and say, you know what, I authorized the transaction. Please go ahead and do so, right? So you know that obviously that is quite possible as well. But then again, with AI, you have a situation where you're able to put guardrails in place, right, while utilizing data from various sources, right? Feeding that into the AI and using it to make instantaneous decisions that will allow people be protected. For instance, you're able to take documentation and then show it to the AI that is this legit. While the document itself might look real, of course, the AI is able to take information from various sources to determine if, while this paper looks good, but is it correct? Is the ink, is it the type that is used normally? Is the stamp, is the stamp the correct year? I mean, for instance, say maybe they started using stamps in 1972, right? But the document is from 1968 and it has a stamp. Then, AI is able to flag things like that.
Yes. Amazing. All right. So now for most companies, right, we know that their bottom line is profit making, right? So how can artificial intelligence help reduce costs and improve profits for businesses?
Okay. I feel like we're getting to the crux of the matter right now. And I think that's a really important question, right? But I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
Right? Let's say that you've done business.
Yes,
Everyone has done business, right? Have you ever done business, like closed a deal while you were sleeping?
No.
Okay, I imagine that that's the same for everyone before artificial intelligence. But what you find is that with artificial intelligence, that becomes very possible. And I'll explain that to you. So I have a system on my email, right, currently. All it does, right, is search for emails and phone numbers for decision makers in certain companies, right? And it researches those companies as well. So it does research, it gets the email, gets the decision maker, creates an email, right? After having researched the company. So it's able to say things like, congratulations on your 30th anniversary, right? We see what you're doing and we think that your business is ripe for artificial intelligence in it, right? And then it fires off that message to whoever it is that it has to, right? And let's say, for instance, the person resonates with the message resonates with that person. And so obviously they respond to the message and they're saying, okay, well, I like what you're saying. I'd like to have a meeting with you, right? Can we set up a meeting for 3:00 tomorrow, right? So the system gets that message, right? It goes to my calendar, looks at my calendar and determines, if I'm free at 3:00, 3 p.m. or tomorrow. And if I'm not free, then it gets the times when I'm free and then puts that back in the email, that same email thread, and then sends it back to the sender and tells the user that, look, Bibilade is not free at this time, but he is free at these times. Do you want to select a different time? Right? Ideally, this requires a little back and forth normally. And then that person can then send a time that, okay, do you know what? I'd rather choose 11. 11 is good for me, right? And so the AI goes into my calendar, books that calendar space, right? Then takes that meeting link, puts it back into the email, and then sends it to the person that, okay, and not just the email link, it actually has an intelligent response and says, look, okay, thank you very much for choosing this particular time. Bibilade is free at this time. And so we've booked that meeting, and here is the meeting link. And we're looking forward to meeting with you. All of this while I'm asleep.
Amazing.
Fast asleep. As a matter of fact, like I don't know any of this has happened. And it can even go further. So let's say, for instance, it was a payment situation where they obviously then wanted to pay for my time or pay for the service or whatever it is, right? The system will send them my account number, right? They pay, and then maybe they send the proof of pay. Whether they send the proof of payment or not, I get alerted. Obviously, the alert comes into my email, and it's able to confirm that the payment has come in. Yeah, exactly. And so let's say, for instance, I was supposed to send them onboarding documents. It will go ahead and send onboarding documents as well. And like I've made a sale.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even conscious yet. Like I haven't woken up, right? So imagine that for the average real estate person, right? To where you don't have to absolutely be there for viewings anymore, right? You can just set up something that's really allows the client view, maybe 3D, maybe virtually, right? And then the client can do all that they have to pay and do all of these things. So imagine what that would mean. It then simply means that every real estate professional becomes Superman, because then they can be several places at the same time. In terms of cost savings, right? Now, because real estate developers do not have to do a lot of these things anymore, right? You find that it's allowing them save a lot of cost, right? And the other thing is, AI truly will replace certain employees and things like that.
Totally.
So it's able to actually save a lot of cost, right? It's also able in the instance or in the scenario, right, where the plot of land scenario I gave earlier, where you want to use AI to develop that plot or up onto the roof level, right? And then maybe even furnishings as well. You can then tell the AI what your budget is and then explain to it that, look, this is my budget. Can you cut this category of things? So, or tell me how exactly can we save? And the AI can then let you know that, okay, so typically this is how these buildings are done. But if you centralized air conditioning, for instance, it's going to allow you save this, and this, right? If you removed one additional column where it's not absolutely necessary, it's going to allow you save this, and this, right? So AI is able to very dynamically show you ways in which you can absolutely save cost as well.
Dynamic indeed. All right. So speaking of cost, right, what is like the cost of setting up an average functional AI system or an AI ecosystem for a real estate company?
Fantastic question. Absolutely fantastic question. So the good thing about AI, right, is that it's actually quite affordable. Right. But not only just being affordable, right? It also is quite easy to set up. It doesn't cause a lot of disruption in your current business to set up, right? Simply because your business can keep going on while that AI is being set up, and it's not going to affect any facet of it, right? So it's affordable. It's easy to set up, and it's quick to set up and maintain, right? So for that reason, I'd say that it's a no-brainer to adopt AI. There's really no reason not to adopt AI. And just for just for context, right? The current AI that most people are familiar with, which is ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
So for ChatGPT, I'd say that for $5, right, you're able to access something like 1 million tokens or 1.2 million tokens. And then look at a token as a bunch of 4 letters.
Okay.
approximately a bunch of 4 letters, right? And then you have about 1 million. You can access about 1 million in $5 worth
Interesting.
of coins.
Wow.
So you see how affordable that is. So yeah, it's typically, I mean, not everything is that affordable, but typically that's what you get. Of course, if you want to customize, shall I say, services to your exact business, of course, it's not that affordable because you have to pay an agency or you have to pay an individual or a service provider, right?
Okay.
But I would say that relatively, it's actually quite affordable for the things that it allows your business do. For the savings that it allows your business achieve, it's actually very affordable.
Okay. Let me have your final thoughts on just paint a picture of artificial intelligence, what the next 5 to 10 years will be like with artificial intelligence being the core of operations.
Thank you for that question. I think, let me put it this way. At the very beginning of the internet, right? I mean, when we had internet, was it 1.0, right?
Yes.
We weren't quite able to predict, obviously, where the internet was going, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't have been obvious that we could have something like Amazon.com shipping and delivering actual real life products, right? Simply because the internet at that time was text only.
Yes.
So it would have been difficult to see it actually delivering tangible products. So I think that even now, no one person can actually predict where AI is going to, but you then see, obviously I can use the internet as some sort of like for like comparison. You then see how big the internet currently is, right? But I believe that AI has the potential to be much bigger than the internet. So you do see that it is absolutely necessary for you to not only use AI, but start early so that you can be the Amazon of artificial intelligence in real estate.
Oh, I love it. Start early so you can be the Amazon of artificial intelligence in real estate. So artificial intelligence is not a foe, it is a friend. You can use it as a consultant, virtual assistant, and for so many other beautiful things. Thank you very much for joining us on today's episode of the Real Deal Naija podcast. On this platform, it is real talk about real estate, absolutely unfiltered from the mouth of experts. I see your comments. I see all of your engagement. And because we're really cheerful here, we have this really beautiful coffee mug for you. We are really generous at the Real Deal Naija podcast. So to stand a chance to win this jumbo coffee mug, simply like, share, subscribe, and make sure to comment coffee mug. And this beautiful cup is all yours. It is filled with so much love from all of us at the Real Deal Naija podcast, and you can wake up and smell the coffee. Until we see you on another insightful episode of the Real Deal Naija podcast.